Hi, I'm State Senator Steve Hobbs. Welcome to the state capitol and welcome to National Guard Day. Today is where we honor the men and women of the Washington State National Guard. One of the things the National Guard does is fight fires. When fires get out of control and threaten homes and valuable timber, we call on the National Guard for help. Here we have Sergeant Sanders, who's displaying some of the stuff that our National Guard members wear while we're out in the field. And Sergeant Sanders, you want to talk to us about all this?
Yeah, I'll take you from right to left. This is the fire retardant uniform that we wear, along with the hard hat with the protective eyewear and the gloves that we wear. We have two fire shelters here. One of them is for training purposes, that we actually get the soldiers out and get them in, practice going through the motions. Then we have the real world fire shelter. We also have the bladder bags that we carry around. It weighs about 45 pounds max. Remember, it's completely filled with water, and we use that for the hot spots that we have. We also have another big backpack over here that has the fire shelter in it, carries all the supplies, so I can even hook the chainsaw up to the front of it. And we also have the plasky and the shovels that we use to dig fire lines to create the safety lines for us. But we go out, we get certified every year, and that way in case anything happens, then we're able to respond.
You know, that's what's special about our National Guard. Not only are they out there defending our freedoms in faraway places like Iraq and Afghanistan and wherever we're called to defend our country, we're also here at home defending you from natural disasters such as wildfires and earthquakes and floods. So it's a valuable resource that we have right here in the state of Washington. Here we are at the counter drug, and next to me is Sergeant Dillon, who's going to explain to you what they do here for the state of Washington. Go ahead, Sergeant Dillon.
I'm Sergeant Dillon with the Washington State National Guard Counter-Drug Program, and we have several different things that we do for the state. One of which is direct support to law enforcement using both intelligence procedures and field reconnaissance procedures to support the fight against drugs. The other is we provide training to the same law enforcement in order to help them with different skill sets that are military specific that can be applicable to law enforcement.
Well, thank you very much for all you do, and I saw you got a combat infantryman's badge, and so where'd you deploy to?
Yes, sir. I was in Iraq twice with the 161 Washington National Guard.
That's fantastic. Thank you for your service. Thanks for all you do. Well, here I am with the commander of the Washington National Guard, and what I like to call my boss's boss's boss. General Doherty is here. General, is there anything you'd like to say to the public about the Washington National Guard and maybe National Guard Day?
Well, I'll just tell you I'm very proud of our National Guard. We've got roughly 8,200 members in our National Guard here in Washington. We've deployed over 13,000 overseas in the last decade, and they've done a tremendous job for our country overseas. We're happy to have them back home for the most part. We still have 139 that are downrange today. We're looking forward to getting them home and focusing on domestic ops and preparedness here in our state.
Thank you very much for coming down here today. And
my pleasure.
Take care. I know you're a busy man, sir.
I am.
You know, before I was a state senator, I was in active duty in the Army. Of course, now I'm in the National Guard. Well, one thing is consistent. I'm still, in my heart, an infantryman. And right here, I have Staff Sergeant Gonzalez, who's going to talk to you about what his role is in the 81st Brigade. Go ahead. Oh, 161 Infantry.
Roger.
All right.
All right, well, 161, we have our snipers. We have our 308 here with suppressor. We have our XM 2010, which is our new weapon. We also have the M4, which our typical infantrymen also carry, but this is also used for the spotter with the ACOG. We have the 320 grenade launcher. It has replaced the 203. This can be handheld, or it can be put on the bottom of the M4 as well if they need to get out of somewhere in a hurry. And they also carry the 9mm. And you have your combat hatchet. This is the M110, shoots a 308. XM 2010 is a 300 Win Mag. And then the 50 cal, which is the mile gun.
How many times you deployed and where you've deployed so far?
I've had 2 combat tours to Iraq, 2005 and 2008, both with 161, the National Guard. And before that, served with the 82nd and the Strikers here at Fort Lewis before I came over to the Guard.
All right, well, thank you very much. Thank you for your service.
Thank you,
All
sir.
right.
Appreciate it.
I tell you, the bravest men around and women around, those who belong to EOD. So I got a staff sergeant here to explain what he does, what the unit does, and maybe talk about the suit that we have here. I think that's going to be part of the next Star Wars movie. So, all right, take it away.
I'm Sergeant Vanderstel with the 319th Explosive Ordnance Disposal Unit here in Washington State. We train to take care of conventional, non-conventional explosive devices and your improvised explosive devices. We have a variety of our tools on display here today. We have Sergeant Heine in our EOD-9 bomb suit. We have our favorite friend here, which is our Talon robot. Prefer to use him for most everything before we actually get to go play. And then we have just a variety of the different items we might have to deal with. Different conventional ordnance, rocket propelled grenades, projectiles, and improvised type devices.
All right, and obviously you deployed before. Can you tell the audience how many times you deployed and where?
I have deployed twice. I have deployed to Iraq and Afghanistan, spent time in Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Qatar. So.
And is this your full-time job, or do you have a civilian job?
I am an AGR position,
okay.
So,
all right.
And currently on military leave from Burlington, Northern Santa Fe.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Take care. Any disaster that we have here in the state of Washington, the brains of the operation is the state EOC, Emergency Operations Center. Why don't you go ahead and tell the folks out there what you do and what the EOC does?
Yes, the State EOC, which is, you see the floor of it here, that's the State Emergency Operations Center. It's located at Camp Murray, and it's where we bring all of the agencies and other entities, local governments, as well as some private entities, private businesses, that will help us respond to a disaster. It's kind of the nerve center, if you will, and it's a coordination effort. And again, it's the state EOC, it's not our emergency management EOC. And we have partners from all of the affected agencies that would be responsible to respond. Agencies such as transportation, if there's a transportation issue. We have Department of Health for health issues. So if there's a pandemic or illness-related emergency, we would, again, coordinate with them and, of course, work with the local health departments. We are a home rule state, and so all emergencies are led at the local level, and so our role is to coordinate and bring resources to the locals to help respond to an emergency or a disaster.
Well, thank you very much, and thank you for all you do for our state.
Thank you, Senator.
Thanks for visiting my website and being part of National Guard Day. Our men and women here at the National Guard do so much for us here at home and abroad. If you see a Guard member, tell them thanks for their service.